Hi, this is Randy. Welcome to my channel, Omega Times, the End Times. Right now, if you would hit the subscribe button in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, if you could give me a thumbs up, it'll help me get this pushed out to other people. I need to get up to 1,000 subscribers. It's moving slow, but it's moving, so I'd appreciate your help. And those that have subscribed, I really appreciate it. And that gave me a thumbs up, that's really helped me out. I like to share the gospel with other people. We're going to talk today about don't run from God, but run to Him. Don't run from God, but run to Him. Psalms 3, verses 1 and 2. O Lord, how many are my foes? How many rise up against me? Many are saying of me, God will deliver him. All right, God will deliver you out of all your needs. He didn't say keep you from going through problems, but He would bring you through them. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but He will deliver you out of them all. Yea, though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, I will fear no evil. The Lord didn't say you wouldn't go through a valley. He didn't say you wouldn't have rough times. He didn't say this. He just said He would deliver us out of them all. He'll help us get through them. So you're being a child of God, don't abstain you from having problems in life and having things that just don't go right. All right? It's just the way it is. So we need to realize David felt like he was in the minority. As many as 10,000 soldiers were surrounding him at that time, and David could have trusted in his army to defeat Absalom. All right? He could have trusted in his army. Not only did David's enemies view life differently than he did, they actively sought to harm him and to kill him. All right? They were out to get him. You ever had people that just really were evil people? You know, maybe on the job or out in the world or wherever you may be. As King David could have trusted, he had the peace that whatever outcome was going to happen, that the goodness would prevail, that God would do things to His benefit. We can overcome fear by trusting God for our protection in our darkest hour. Whatever you're going through today, spiritually, physically, financially, all right? Whatever the problem may be, God can deliver you out of them. In your darkest hour, God can help you, all right? I remember 2003 was a very rough year for my wife and I, all right? And I was pastoring, and during a 4-month period, roughly, given a 4-month period, I get a call on a Saturday night, and my cousin said that his wife passed away, and he wanted to know if I'd preach her funeral. They went to my church. They were members of my church. I felt my heart went out to him. I said, yeah, I'll do that. He said, it'll be Tuesday at 1 o'clock, all right? At 2:30 in the morning, we get a call, and my brother-in-law died. And they wanted me to come down and preach his funeral, and he lived like 225 or 30 miles away, and it was Tuesday. I said, I'm preaching my cousin's funeral Tuesday. So they taught the funeral down there, and they couldn't get a different time, so they had to get somebody else. I didn't even get to go to my brother-in-law's funeral. So I told my wife, I said, that's horrible. Well, when I mentioned it on Facebook that I had lost my cousin, his wife, and I lost my brother-in-law in a few-hour period, somebody come on there and said, oh, it comes in threes. You hear that all the time. It comes in threes, all right? So then I found out about a month later my nephew died up in Illinois. He passed away. Then the next thing you know, I get a call at work, and they tell me, your sister's had a massive stroke. She's in the hospital. They don't think she'll make it through the day. So I told my employer, I ran out and jumped in a pickup, ran home, threw my clothes in a bag. I mean, I was in and out of my house in 5 minutes flat, and I took off for Illinois. And I'm not a speeder. I drive the speed limit. I set my cruise on it. I don't want to pay a ticket. I always leave in plenty of time to get somewhere. I'm not in no hurry. I'm not going to get a ticket because I want to get somewhere. So that's the way I drive. You can call me an old man, whatever, but I've done that for years. But that day I didn't. I mean, I was pushing it. And I got up to Illinois. I went in there. My sister was laying there in bed. She was in a coma. I held her hand, her 3 children. Her husband was there. And I sit there with her, and about an hour after I arrived, she took her last breath. I prayed all the way, God, please don't let my sister die before I get there. I know that she's not there, but I want her to be alive when I get there. I talked to her. Perhaps she heard me. Perhaps she understood. I don't know. But I didn't have to make any peace with her. My sister knew I loved her with all my heart. She meant the world to me. So the next 2 days later, I stayed there in Illinois. I got me a hotel room and I preached her funeral. And we came home. Then a few weeks later, my mother-in-law died. And my wife and I, she had to go through that. My wife sat with her mother for 2 days by herself, praying, combing her hair, taking care of her. Her mother finally slipped into what I call a comatose state. She wasn't awake, but Debbie stayed there till she took her last breath. And then she cleaned her up and she made the right calls to people, and she was in hospice or whatever you call it. And we lost her mother. So we had 5 deaths in a family real short. Then I had people saying to me, well, God's really hitting you hard. Well, God's not hitting me hard. You know, my mother-in-law was, over 62 years old. My sister was 81, all right? God wasn't taking people away to punish me or harm me or hurt me. It was just death. It's called life. So I ran to God. I didn't run from him. I said, God, I need your comfort. I need your help. Then we had a mild church split in the midst of all these funerals, and I had to deal with that on top of that. And so I told my wife, I said, man, I just feel like I'll be glad when 2003 is over, and I hope I never have another year like this. 5 deaths in the family, and we had a church split, and all sorts of stuff. But God brought us through. I didn't run from God. I didn't get mad at God. I ran to him and said, hey, it's hitting me high and low. I know you won't put no more on me than I can bear, but I need your help. Well, I tell you what, it's been a tough year. I hope next year's better. And it was. We can come to the Lord and trust in God for protection in our darkest hour, no matter what life's doing to you. I don't know about you, but I know about me. I just gave you an example what happened 21 years ago to me and my family. I don't know what you're going through. Maybe it's job loss. Maybe it's you can't make ends meet. You got more going out than you have coming in. You haven't balanced your budget. Or maybe it's sickness in your body. Or maybe you have a family member that won't speak to you. Whatever it is, don't run from God. Don't get mad at him. Don't say things that you'll regret. Run to God. Ask God to help you. Lord, I'm really got a problem here. I've lost my job. Or God, I'm really up against it here financially. Or God, I'm sick in my body and I'm having to miss work. Go to God. Don't run from him. Run to him. When circumstances goes against us, and when we might be tempted to do things the way we want to do it, but we got to do it the way God wants us to do it. Run to him. Don't run from him. David reminds us in the Bible that the opposite is true. When all seems to have gone wrong and all hell's breaking loose in our life, God is still for us. God's for you. He's not against you. He's a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. You couldn't ask for a better partner and a better person to be with you than God. Jesus is with you all the way. God is still for us no matter what you're going through in life. Don't run from God, but run to him. If you're having problems today, let me tell you something. Don't run from him. Run to him. Ask him to help you, and he will. God bless you. I love you, and so does God. Please hit the subscribe button at the bottom right hand of the screen. Give me a thumbs up. Help me share the gospel with other people. I'd appreciate it. Thank you for your time this time. Till next time, old Rev May is signing off. Have a wonderful day.